Hey YouTube, coming at you with the team Cresselia Double Steel. So, three things about this team. One, I shot these battles before Poliwrath with counter came out. So Double Steel. Not that you need to worry about Poliwrath with counter just with this team, because like the double kick Sacred Swords do fine against it, and Cresselia is just such a hard answer for it. So you don't need to worry about it. But again, if you think there's gonna be more counter users or more answers to it, or because I saw Verizon a lot too, that could also cause problems for your backline. So there's that. Second thing is I used Future Sight on Cress because this team is the weak to fire in the back. That being said, you do have a Rock Slide and Stone Edge. So if you see Charizard, you're going to like one-shot it potentially, but the blast friends come quick. So I wanted an answer for Charizard. So I used double nuke Future Sight and Moonblast. I will say on the lead, I found that if I wanted Grass, or was this Grass Knot, Leaf Blade, whatever the fast move is, Grass Knot, whatever the fast move is, Charge Move. Wow. I wanted that more than I wanted Future Sight. However, I do think Future Sight Moonblast Cress works, but as a safe swap. So you would come in, I mean, you still get walled by steals like Registeel, stuff like that, but if you get hit with like a different safe swap in Charizard, or if you want just more harder hitting moves outside of Moonblast in neutral situations against like a normal typing, I think Future Sight Moonblast combo works. I did okay with this team. Again, a lot of times I would have liked to have Moonblast or Grass Knot here. Come in with a Airquinid, which is a kind of spicy pick for Ultra League. So I just threw Future Sight mostly because I just wanted to see how it did. Like, again, I have two steals in the back. Smart would have been to come in right away, especially when I have a Rock Slide as one of my moves here and resist the bug, which is the fast move and the main charge move here. So I probably should have come in quicker. That's that. I just wanted to see how much of Future Sight did, and did have, which is again pretty good hitting for this. This is a 2065. So what does this thing max out at? Is that just a super low one, or does Airquinid actually just only top out at that, and this is just like a spicy team? For Ultra League level 50, 2065 is that the hundo? Yeah, 15, 15, 15, 2065 is the hundo Airquinid. So that is some spice in the Ultra League. What its ranking possibly be? 461. Yeah. Don't power don't power up a 2065 Airquinid in the Ultra League, but I appreciate the spice. They're running double bugs, right? So that's why it's even more spicy. Although I've mentioned Glycopod is very, very, very strong in this meta. I did get one shield already, so I'm just going straight nuke to try and take this out. Otherwise, Cress should be able to take out the rest of this here. And we are not going to fool around with this. We're just going to go straight in here to try and take this out, because I didn't want them to like farm up a bunch and then be able to take me out. Don't catch, don't catch, don't catch. You know they were going to catch. What are you doing? I still get off. They still have a decent amount of health there, so Future Sight is not a bad thing to chip there. I may let this go and get to the Stone Edge though, because I think that's my play here, because force them to throw here. Get to a Moonblast instead of a Future Sight. Again, you should probably throw Future Sight if you get both of them. Stab, plus it's a harder hitting move. Lowers the attack though, so that's nice. Can't get to it, but Sacred Sword is enough to take this out from this range. So weird plays by me, spicy by them. Good game. Crest into Obstagoon. So this is one where, again, you eventually want to try and get out. I mean, you have options in the back. If you see a fire, if you see Swampert, like you can work around this. You don't need to get out right away. And when you have a Moonblast here, I kind of want to throw this to grab shields. So grab the first shield. Counters resisted. Night Slash is not a good move in general unless you get boosted. So the second Night Slash is not going to take me out. I don't even think a third Night Slash unless it gets boosted takes me out, quite honestly. So I grab the second shield, and they're staying in here. And like, what do you have in the back that you're staying in here? You just burn 2 shields against Cress. This Night Slash does not take out. I live, and my IVs aren't even good. 13, 12, 15. So I get 2 shields plus a Moonblast. And now I can just come and double kick down. And they get out into Mewtwo, which again, as someone who used Armored Mewtwo, spicy. I am going to shield a Dynamic Punch. Again, a Dynamic Punch from an Armored Mewtwo does not do a ton, but it's still something that I probably want to shield. And 2 Earthquakes is going to take out from this range. So goal is to take this out. Try not to take Dynamic Punch. Get a little bit of energy. So not quite, but do take it out on the Mud Shot there. And they are not going to stay in here. See, this is one where I would have liked Grass Knot. I'm going to stay in this. This is where it gets tricky. This is where it gets tricky. Okay, so now I can come in G-Fisk. Take this move and then come G-Fisk. Tapu Fini is going to have a good time against my back line. They get the attack Rise, which, of course, got the shield up, a potential Earthquake. Because that would one-shot, so that is a good shield. It's hopefully low enough that I can just Rock Slide from this point. Gaining a Future Sight off now puts us in like Rock Slide range, which is good. Maybe it's another Earthquake, so I'm going to respect that. And it is another Earthquake. They come in now to get the Tapu on me, which is smart, because I would definitely get a Rock Slide off there. Good news is, these Earthquakes, as you know in Great League, they hurt. So I don't think a Surf's going to take out a full health, not full health, but a level 50 G-Fisk. And I'm going to get a second Earthquake off here. And now they come and I guess I was going to come Crest anyway, so I probably should not have taken those 3 wing attacks there. Because now I just get letting them get to a Night Slash unnecessarily. So I should have instant swapped, considering they were switch locked too. They might not have been switch locked. And actually, it may have just helped me out here. Problem is, Earthquake is super effective. I don't think it's enough to take out. It's gonna put me low. I really don't think I could take much of a Rock Slide here either, so I need to get this out of here. Can't quite get it out, but that double kick may help me get to a move. Yeah, I was going to say they kind of have to throw, or else I'm going to get to a double kick or a Sacred Sword and probably take them out. And now it is a race. And as we saw, even if they got to the Night Slash, one Night Slash from that range is not going to take me out. So there we go. Again, Grass Knot would have been helpful there. Like Grass Knot a couple times would have been helpful on that team there. Lost the lead hard, lost the switch hard. I generally try to use G-Fisk as the safe swap. Your hardest answer here is Swampert. Hopefully they just Hydro, but even 2 Hydros take you out before you're going to get 2. But it just kind of forces them to throw back-to-back here. Yeah. And again, here we go. Like, I would have liked a Grass Knot on Crest coming in here. So, if you're going to... Like, I think Grass Knot is better. A lot of people are like, yeah, I don't have a Grass Knot Crest because, yeah, that's right. Those have not been around for a long time. That's not true. You could have got Grass Knot Crest a while ago for Ultra League. You just can't get it for Great League. Great League Crest is tough to get. Ultra League Grass Knot Crest is not as hard to get. This is just a hard counter essentially. Hard counter win. Hard counter loss with this one because I remember my next one I put it in back to back is a hard counter win. So yeah, nothing you can really do here. You just kind of play it out, right? It happens. Just like it's going to happen the other way. That'll hard counter the other way. Okay, let's just fast forward this. Because yada yada yada, I lose. There's nothing I can do here. Okay, goodbye. Crest into Glycopod. Actually, that's not a hard counter win. That's not a good win at all. I'm staying in here for a little bit because I think if I get the If I got a future set off, it would have hurt. They tried to catch on Stunfisk. And that is good for me, because one Earthquake is going to take this out. One Crunch will not take me out, especially with... Oh, Flamethrower. Yeah, that would hurt. Wouldn't take me out, but it would hurt. But I'm shielding that to get... Because I think they're probably running a double dark team. Like a dark poison team in the back. Because you pull out a ground or Swampert with Stunfisk, punish it with Golisopod, and then have your other one that does not want to see Swampert roam free. So I'm guessing that I'm going to do okay. So I'm just going to take this out right away here. Because I don't know what's in the back yet, but I'm expecting another Poison Dark. Yeah, that does not surprise me. So I'm just going to stay in here, take this Crunch, Moonblast, grab a shield, take it low, and then a Fighter Steel is going to have absolutely no problem taking out a Drapion. So grab one shield, don't need it because I'm just going to, yeah, dominate there. So good lead here. I expect them to bail. Yeah, I don't have an amazing answer for Giratina. So I'm going to stay in this and then probably go to G-Fisk because G-Fisk is going to have a bad matchup against, yeah. And then, because got the Moonblast off, does good damage. G-Fisk is going to have such a bad matchup. Not such a bad matchup, but a very, very bad matchup against Colbalion. Shadow Force. Oh, I remember this one. I was like, oh, okay. Did not expect the Shadow Force. You never expect the Shadow Force. Because in general, it's much, much worse. You just want Dragon Claw and Shadow Sneak. But man, when you get hit with Shadow Force, it's definitely catches you off guard in a lot of situations. But I am now in a good situation where I just got a ton of farm on this. That if the Colbalion comes back in, sure they can farm up a bunch on me, but I'm going to land an Earthquake on them to grab a shield. I expect the shield. Yeah. I expect the shield and farm. I'm not going to be able to get to an Earthquake, so let's just do Chip, because again, Chip will put it within probably future sight range. So I have good alignment here. I may shield one just to match, because they're staying in here, and I'm like, if they're staying in here, they probably, so they have this in the back. So that's not great. So I've got to kind of stay in here. And again, this is where Grass Knot would have been helpful. Future Sight does basically what a Grass Knot would do, but like 3 more turns. So that's unfortunate. And they get the Shadow Ball off. Right, I've called them, oh, right, this is my loss. I remember, a couple misplays there. So had I had a Grass Knot, would have had this matchup easier. Had I shielded the Shadow Ball, I wouldn't have to shield up Surfs here. And then I end up having, I don't want to take a Sacred Sword from Colbalion, so I like get too low and they essentially take me out. Plus I think they actually do have 2 moves. Because my thought process was like, let this go. I don't really want to take a double kick and Sacred Sword. So just take these. Maybe I can get the farm down and come out with 2 Sacred Swords to take it out, and then it's got energy plus all these Surfs and Hexes add up way too much. And then these double kicks add up a lot too. Because they're sneaking 1 through every time, right? Because we're 3 and 3, so they're going to sneak a double kick every time I go for Sacred Sword. So this game's over. And they do have 2 moves, so tough. Yeah, this team's going to struggle a bit against Jellicent. So I don't know if I'd run this with the Poliwrath and the Jellicent now. Colbalion is... I don't know. I'm struggling with it right now. I think I get it because double kick Sacred Sword is such a good combo, and Stone Edge does give you coverage, but man, if you get into like a Jellicent or a Giratina matchup, or even against like so I catch, nice catch there. Or something that like where like the double kick is resisted and you can only throw Stone Edge, it's such a bad matchup and it just kills you. So I grab 1 shield and they're staying in here, which is interesting to me. Considering they are throwing only resisted charge moves? Yeah, they're only throwing Dragon Claw and Ancient Power, right? If I remember this. So I'm like, what do you have in the back that you do not want to see G-Fisk, because this is a weird stay in here. Especially when I have Cress on the lead. So they let it go. So they have a Cress, right? So that's, again, tough because the Psycho cuts are resisted. They shield an Earthquake. So they must be very weak to G-Fisk in the back, which is fine because then I can just run it. And they're running double Nuke too, so they're running Future Sight, Moonblast. And we CMP here. So everything that's going wrong for them is going wrong for them in this matchup. Tanks and Earthquake, very easy. But we CMP here. I don't really want to come Colbalion because that's such a bad matchup. I know they just showed double Nuke, so we are basically the same here. Only going to be throwing Moonblast at each other. I'm reading they're weak to a Steel or Ground in the back. So maybe it's more like they're weak to a Ground in the back. They could get a couple Focus Blasts off here. You'll live one Focus Blast. I have 2 shields, but I'll live one Focus Blast, so I can let the first one go. And I do. You don't need to let that go. You can definitely shield. I just assumed they would maybe try and Zap Cannon me to lower my attack. Now I'll shield. Maybe just farm all the way and come out with a Stone Edge. Oh, but they snipe me. I remember this. They snipe me. Yeah, it was a smart play. Smart play to snipe me. I shield because I have so much energy. So I'll get the Stone Edge off. Basically take it out. Timer's coming up. Let's Moonblast this to get it out of here. And so I'll take this out and I'll be able to just beat this on a timeout. So that is a team. Again, kind of tough against Jellicent, which is everywhere. I prefer Leaf Grass Knot on Cress. If you're going to run double Nuke, I think you run it in the switch as a safe swap. Although you're still going to get punished by steals. There's not much you can do about that. But that is basically it. So, league turnover tomorrow. Like I said in this morning's video, really random little Jungle Cup coming at you. So we're going to dissect that in depth. And then it's also Ultra League. So I'll probably have at least a couple more Ultra League teams coming next week. So that's it. Thanks for watching. See you guys in the next one.